Hi, I'm Jake. This is tutorial for beginners to After Effects. This is why I'll be more descriptive than usual. First of all, I'm using standard layout, so my interface should be similar to yours. If for some reason you can't find any panel which I'm using, you can enable it by going to Window and enable it from here by the name of that panel. Let's import our footage. Go to File, Import, File. This footage is available to download by the link in description. Double click on it to import. Then left mouse click, hold and drag to this icon here, or on timeline, or here to create a new composition. Just release left button of the mouse. To get best result of this effect, you need to film your footage in same perspective as I did. It's better if cup has contrast colors or letters like mine. Table should cover your hand after you hitting the side of the table. Make sure to have fast movement at the point of hitting table and at the point where you're pretending to take your fist out of the cup. Also, when you're taking your fist out of the cup, make sure not to show it to camera. You need to have few frames of clear fist, like I have here at the beginning of my video. We need it so we could cut it out and animate it. So, in time where you can see clear fist, we need to select our footage and go to Edit, Duplicate. Then right mouse click on duplicated layer and go to Time, Freeze Frame. Using this pen tool here, we will create a mask around our fist. You can use scroller on the mouse to zoom in and zoom out into our footage. Also, you can press and hold spacebar on keyboard, and with left mouse click, you can move around the footage. Then, with the left mouse click, start creating a point to outline our fist. You can left mouse click and hold to create a curve point to better align to your mask. Make sure to keep mask tight to your fist. Also, you can press M on keyboard to see our mask, and by left mouse clicking on little square next to it, you'll be able to change color. Now, it's much easier to see, and we can complete our entire mask. To close the mask, click on very first point. You'll see a circle next to your cursor. Great! Now our mask is complete, and we have only our fist on this layer. You can also open properties of the mask by clicking here and change mask feather to value of 2. Basically, it's making edges of your mask more soft and blends better with our footage. Now let's hide our fist by left mouse clicking on eyeball icon next to this layer. Then find moment in the video where your hand is about to go under the table and enable fist footage. You can left mouse click, hold and drag to exact place where your fist is. Move one frame further by clicking here in preview panel. Now our hand is under the table and we left with this fist layer. Grab it by the end with left mouse click and hold to cut to this moment in time. And now we will animate bouncing of the fist. Just move your time cursor on timeline to end of the animation. In my case, I pretended with my head like I'm watching the bouncing motion. So now we see exact point where motion should end. Then make sure to select your footage and press P on keyboard. Then press and hold Shift and press S on keyboard to see position and scale. For animation, you need to click on this stopwatch to create a keyframe. Keyframe is basically the point in which After Effects remembers the value of selected property. To create next keyframe, click here. Now After Effects remembers position of the fist in these 2 moments in time. Let's move our time cursor to second keyframe and move our fist to a cup. We can also create a keyframe to scale and move it to beginning. It's good size at the beginning, but at this moment in time we need to change to bigger value to make fit our cup. You can adjust position if you need. And as you can see, it automatically has created a new keyframe. And here about at the middle between our keyframes, let's bring our fist up to create a bouncing effect. We need to make sure that we have a nice curve here of our position. We can adjust it by left mouse clicking and dragging these handles. If you want to adjust position, make sure that your time cursor is on position keyframe. Then you can adjust position. Also make sure that you didn't drag your handle too far, because it will change trajectory of your bouncing and will not look natural. If you made this mistake, just go to Edit, Undo, or just press Ctrl Z on keyboard to undo previous action. Now click here to go to Graph Editor. Here we will adjust the timing. Make sure that you are in Edit Speed Graph mode, so your graph would look same as mine. Then we need to drag these 2 points lower, but not to the baseline, because these points represent speed of our motion before and after flying up in the air. And if you'll drag these points to the baseline, it will stop the motion completely, which is not what we want. We need to drag by this handle to have our motion fast at the beginning of bouncing, then slower where fist is in the air. And from the air, it should be slow and fall faster to a cup. For this, we also click and drag by the handle to have this kind of graph, which represent rapid motion at start, slow motion in the middle, and fast motion at the end. We can exit graph editor and cut our preview to this part of the video, and then press 0 on numpad to preview. If we need to make motion a bit faster, just select these points and move them closer together. We can also select first keyframe of scale and press F9 on keyboard, which will make size of the fist grow slow at the beginning and faster at the end. This will match perspective better. Now we can add motion blur to our fist, which will make animation look more realistic. Click here on this motion blur icon to activate it. Then click here on toggle switches and modes to change between them. We need to see this icon which enables motion blur to our fist layer. Now let's create a matte to our fist. Go to Layer, New, Solid. I'll call it Matte, then click OK. Left mouse click on the beginning of the layer to cut it. By clicking on this eyeball icon, we can disable it, but make sure it is still selected. This is important, because we will draw a mask on it using Pen tool. We can disable fist layer for now to see our cup better. And now our goal is to create a mask on outer side of the cup like this. Keep in mind that you need to left mouse click and hold to create a curved point to mask out our cup properly. Then click on toggle switch here to see our track matte. Now we can enable our fist layer, and if we change our matte to alpha inverted matte, we will hide our fist inside the cup. We can also select our matte layer, which is covering our fist, and press F on keyboard to make edge softer. Set feather value to 2. It would make the edge softer and blend better with our video. Great! Now our fist is jumping inside the cup. But if we will scroll further in the video, you'll see that fist isn't following our cup. So now let's fix this. We need to tell software where is our cup in each frame, so we could stick our fist to cup. For this we need to select our footage and go to Animation, Track Motion. It will open Tracker panel somewhere on your screen. We need to click on Rotation and Scale checkboxes, so After Effects would also know about changing of those values if needed. Now we need to set these 2 tracker points to contrast part of your cup. I'll set first tracker point onto top part of the letter O. Little square is the area of what we are tracking, and bigger square is where software will try to find that area. The second tracker I'll set to a lower part of letter B. Then we can click on Analyze Forward 1 frame if you want to keep an eye on each frame to check if your tracker are in same places on cup. In my case, I have pretty contrasty points on cup, so tracker should do fine automatically. I'll click on this Analyze Forward button and also keep an eye so tracker would follow my cup properly. At any time you can stop the tracking by clicking on same button and adjust tracker position and continue tracking. Once you've tracked all cup movement, now you can create a null object to save your tracking data onto. Go to Layer, New, Null Object. To keep things organized, you can rename layers by selecting them and pressing Return button on keyboard and rename it. I'll name it Tracking Data. Then you need to click on Edit Target button and select Tracking Data layer or whatever you called it, and click OK. Then click on Apply button. If you cannot see it, you can expand it a bit your panel to see it, and click Apply. And then OK. Now, as you can see, our null object is attached to our cup. We can disable it. For organization purposes, you can cut to the same size as these layers. Now press U on keyboard to see our tracked keyframes. And now, I'll show you how you should not attach your fist to a cup. Don't repeat this. If your time cursor on middle of tracking data, and you select and attach your layers to a tracking data like this, you'll see that it is attached but in wrong place. I'll click Ctrl Z to undo these actions. Right way is to have your time cursor before all tracked keyframes. Then select your matte layer, hold Shift on keyboard and select fist layer below. And using this pick whip, left mouse click and hold and drag to your tracking data and release it. Now it works properly. Here at the point in which you pretending that you taking your fist out of the cup, you need to cut these layers. Find the very last frame where your fist in the cup is aligned with hand motion and cut these layers to this moment. This is why it's good to have fast hand movement here at the end. And now let's fix few bugs which you might have. For example, here at the end, I can see that my tracking has a bit of glitch in size of the fist. Clearly, we don't need to have our fist size changed. So we can select our tracking data layer and press S on keyboard to see our scale animation. And select all unwanted keyframes, which are making size jump, and just delete them. Now it's way cleaner animation. Also, I have a bit of rotation in 3D perspective at the beginning, so we can click on toggle switch to switch our layer to 3D layer here. Then press R on keyboard and create a keyframe for X rotation at the start of rotating motion. Then I'll skip few frames to a moment where I've touched my cup and rotate it a bit. And then few frames later, we can set rotation back to 0. As you can guess, it's better to film your footage already knowing that it will be better to not rotate your cup. And as you can see, it will be much easier in post-production now. And now it's a great time to support my channel. Buy one of the links in description to this video. Or just simply subscribe to my channel, leave a like and comment so YouTube would know that you watched a good video. Thank you.